Australians spend more on gambling per capita than any other country. Because of unparalleled access to gambling, we lose around $25 billion on all forms each year. Most of this is lost on poker machines, but online wagering is rapidly catching up. This is because, to the annoyance of the public, it's heavily promoted. Children are also commonly exposed, especially through sport, to gambling ads. The toll from gambling harm is serious and severe. It includes relationship breakdown, family violence, financial disaster and bankruptcy, mental illness, intergenerational poverty and distress. There is also a clear link between gambling harm and suicide. Obvious ethical and financial benefits can be achieved from the reform of our current gambling settings. But the gambling industry, like the tobacco industry, is powerful. It's heavily invested in preventing serious action and reform. With the support of the Churchill Trust, I travelled overseas in 2019 and found that given the right circumstances, change is, of course, possible. We can introduce tools to help people who gamble to control their spending, reconfigure gambling products to reduce harm, and build momentum for change by giving people with experience of gambling harm a platform to be heard. There are a lot of opportunities for improving gambling regulation in this country, and that's an understatement. Many reforms are needed, but 5 tasks are priorities. The first is a ban on political donations from the gambling industry and their affiliates to help clear the way for reforms. The second is to ensure that the newly established National Anti-Corruption Commission can address undue influence on policymakers. Third, recent inquiries and royal commissions into casinos and poker machine operators have been damning, exposing criminality and serious breaches of codes of conduct. There's no reason to believe that contempt for regulation and exploitation of vulnerable people is a problem limited to casinos or the New South Wales poker machine industry. We need a royal commission into gambling across Australia. Fourth, to prevent gambling harm and disrupt criminality, we should develop a national universal account registration system for gambling at casinos, on poker machines, and wagering. Set up properly, such a system will provide people who gamble with tools to control their losses. It would also have the benefit of combating money laundering and other criminal activity. And fifth, to reduce the exposure of gambling marketing and advertising to young people, we need to reduce the available hours gambling ads can be aired. Ultimately, we need a ban on gambling ads within 3 years. This ban should cover broadcast and social media. These actions will show that a sustainable gambling industry doesn't rely either on the proceeds of crime or the exploitation of vulnerable people to survive, and they will provide children with a renewed opportunity to enjoy sport without it being accompanied by the normalisation of gambling.